Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all had a good off season. It dragged out tremendously for me, which I'm sure it did for you guys as well. But the wait is over. It's finally over. We have some basketball back in our lives. Unfortunately for me, as being a Sixers fan, it's very, very depressing what has happened this off season. But I think I can live through it as long as the Phillies win tomorrow. I'll be happy. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I make videos for NFL. All these videos, they get posted right here on this subreddit, and my username is Shook. That's how you can find my posts. I make, updates with all the injuries that come out, what that changes for with the slate, and stuff like that. So definitely important to look that up. That'll be linked down below in the comments. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so right here. Here is my Twitter handle. If you ever need to message me, feel free. I'll always respond to you guys. So, yeah, let's get into this breakdown. I am so excited for NBA back. And if you're looking for, more in-depth stuff, my Discord will be linked in the Reddit post as well. Where I've cores for cash, GPPs, player pools, private videos, whole bunch of stuff, CS:GO stuff, more NFL stuff, whole bunch of stuff that'll be there too. All right, let's get into the slate. So, starting Laker for the start. Did I say starting Laker? Starting lineup for the Lakers is going to be, Prince is going to be in there. D'Lo, Reeves, AD, LeBron. That'll be the starting five. As you guys see here, Prince, Darvin Ham said Prince will start at small forward during Tuesday's regular season opener. So a lot of stars on this slate. You have Jokic, you have LeBron, you have Steph, you have AD, you have KD, you have Book. A lot of stars, and you have some very, very interesting pricing. So obviously for me, I think Jokic is going to be a priority for me. I think he is the best play on the slate. I don't really think it's close at all. So with that said, moving forward, I think Anthony Davis does look great if you want to fade Jokic, you're a brave, brave soul. But if you wanted to go double center in your util spot, have Jokic in your util. Obviously, Anthony Davis in your center spot, since it is the early game, you could do that. I think 80 is a great play. I don't mind the matchup with Jokic. 8.9K is a very, very cheap price point for Anthony Davis. Double double upside, good shot blocker, good defender, can get those defensive stats. Going to play solid minutes too. I think 8.9K is a really, really good price tag for Anthony Davis. So I really like AD. I definitely do prefer him to LeBron James. AD is a better point per minute guy. And I think he also has a higher ceiling than LeBron James as well. LeBron, I'm just okay with. I think he's always in play. I think the other spend ups at their price points kind of look a little bit better. Like you have Kevin Durant down here at 8.4, you have D Book down here at 8.3. So you kind of get the point. I think the other spend ups below him look better point per dollar. But I mean, LeBron's always in play for me. A guy that can stuff the stat sheet, do a little bit of everything. So I don't mind it. I just think there are some other plays that look a little bit better to me, point per dollar. Christian Wood, it's kind of going to be hard. I don't really know what his role is going to be right now. Is he going to play some 4 minutes? Is he only going to get the backup five? I really don't know. So that's kind of just a wait and see approach. But he is 6,200, so I kind of have a hard time paying that price point for Christian Wood. Austin Reeves, D'Lo. I much prefer Austin Reeves to D'Angelo Russell. Reeves, minutes super secure. He's also another guy that can kind of do a little bit of everything as well. You have no issue with him or no trust issues of him getting benched. I mean, D'Lo got benched so many times last season, especially in the playoffs, and now they have Gabe Vincent as well. So I think Reeves is definitely the much safer play to D'Lo, but D'Lo does still have a ceiling, right? But Reeves also has that shooting forward eligibility, which is nice. So I think Reeves is a solid play at 6-1. We'll talk about some other plays that I think are too cheap that I might prefer over him, but I think Reeves is solid. D'Lo, just a tournament play for me, like I said. He had a really good preseason. He actually had a phenomenal preseason. But LeBron, AD, I think rested a bunch of those games. But He's another guy that does have a ceiling when he's playing really, really well, but like I said, the floor is going to be super, super low with him. So more of a tournament only play for me. And then you get to the last starter in Torian Prince, who I think is going to be really, really popular tomorrow. I mean, it's kind of tough on 2 game slates, and especially this slate, to kind of find value that's going to play a ton of minutes. And I think Prince is probably going to have to play like 25 plus minutes tomorrow. Not going to be a high usage guy, super low floor with him, but he is going to be out there a decent amount. And he is starting, and he has nice eligibility as well. So I think Prince, unfortunately, and it just pains me to say it, is a pretty good value on this slate. As far as the bench goes, you're going to see Gabe Vincent, you're going to see Rui. I think those 2 guys would be the guys that I would feel the best in. You'll probably see some Christie, maybe some Reddish, not entirely sure there. But as far as like DFS goes and rostering any of these guys, I think Gabe Vincent is just like fine. I think he'll play like, I don't know, 18 to 20 minutes, I think is a fair guess. Rui, I think will get into the low 20s, but at 5-1, I think that's priced about right. So no standouts here with the Lakers bench there. So we can move on to the Denver side of this game. So Jokic, like I said, I think he's the best play on the slate. I really don't think it's close. 10K, we're never going to see him at this price point ever again. Triple double upside every single night. Lakers play fast too. So absolutely love Jokic. I think he's a phenomenal play. I think Jamal Murray's pretty good at 7.5K too. Now, here's the thing with Murray. He is close in price to like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and I'd much, much rather just get up to like a Booker or KD. But if you don't have the money, I think Jamal Murray is perfectly fine at that price point. He's another guy that had played really, really well last year. Improved a ton. He also is going to stuff the stat sheet. It's pretty much just give the ball to Murray, give the ball to Jokic, get out the way. Pretty much. So I think Murray at 7.5 is also another solid play. As far as MPJ and Aaron Gordon goes, they're always just fine filler plays to me. I think Andrew Wiggins. I don't know if you guys like when I do this when we're going over one play. I'd rather play a player over this guy, right? I don't know if you guys like that, but I feel like it helps out a lot. So like I said, as far as like, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, I think I'd rather play like Andrew Wiggins at a similar price point to them. But I think they're both safe plays. MPJ at 5'8", good rebounder, solid scorer. Kind of the same thing with D'Lo. We did see him get benched at times last year, more so in the playoffs. I don't think it'll happen too much in the regular season. So 5'8", I think he's fine. I think I prefer MPJ to Aaron Gordon though. But both feel like pretty safe plays to me. And then we get to KCP. I mean, your normal, if he doesn't hit his shots, he's going to have a really low floor. But if he hits his shots, he'll probably get you like, 20, 25 fantasy points. He's just like fine for me. It's just fine. Sub 5K, going to play good minutes. I'm just okay with it. It's solid. Don't mind it. Going down further, so obviously the bench. So you're probably going to see some Reddy. You're going to see some Christian Braun for sure. Might see some Strother. What's he at? Who did I say? You're probably going to see some Holiday. Who else did I mention? I mentioned what? Najee, Reggie, Braun, and then might see some Holiday and stuff. So if I were to target any of these bench guys, I think it would be Christian Braun. I think he has carved out the safest role, and he did get good playoff minutes last year. The only issue with him is, once again, he's going to be super, super low usage when he's on the court out there. So once again, I think he's fine. I think it's playable, but I don't love it. I think he'll play around, like, I don't know, 18 to 20 minutes. As far as any other guys go, I don't think it's necessary. We'll talk about some value on the Warriors that I do like, and we'll talk about a value play on the Suns right here, or two value plays on the Suns that I think I have some interest in. All right, so on the Phoenix side, I believe Beal is expected to play. I'm pretty sure Booker is going to play here. Looking at their price points, I think KD and Book both look great. I think I prefer KD to Book. I think KD can just stuff the stat sheet a little bit more, but both have incredibly high ceilings. So I like both here a good amount. I think it's whatever fits your lineup is fine. But I think both look great here. Book's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more this season with no Chris Paul. That's going to help his assist rates go up. Beal, I think, is fine at 6'9". Going to be interesting to see what they do with the rotation with all of these guys. But yeah, I think, all three of these guys look solid. I think my favorite's going to be Kevin Durant, but I think Booker looks great. I think Beal at 6'9" is just reasonable. I think he's not going to be as high usage as he was when he was in Washington playing alongside KD and Booker, right? So I think 6'9" is a reasonable price point for him as of right now. Then you have Yusuf Nurkic at 6'3", who I think is solid as well. If you didn't want to go with like a AD, or if you didn't want to go double center, I think Nurkic is a reasonable option at 6'3". Good point per minute. I'm expecting, decent minutes for him, obviously. Um, he's probably going to be going up against Kevon Looney. I think the starting lineup for the Warriors is going to be something like, Chris Paul, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, CP3, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Looney. I think at 6'3", he is a solid option. Double upside as well. Historically, a pretty good producer because he can stuff that stat sheet and get those rebounds right. So yeah, I like me some Nurk. And then you have a Koji who was projected to start. He is. Oh no, that was the preseason. So assuming a Koji does start, I think he's a solid value too. Kind of like Torian Prince. It's just like fine. I think they're solid. I do like Kamingo on the Warriors as well. But a Koji I think will play, I don't know, low 20s minutes if he is starting. So I think a Koji is a solid value. And then as far as, we'll wait for the starting lineup. They could do a number of things, but off the bench, you'll probably see Eric Gordon, Grayson Allen, Eubanks. Don't know how much Keita Bates-Diop will see. So it's kind of tough to project the bench roles right now outside of like Eric Gordon, Grayson Allen, who I think Eric Gordon will probably play high teens to low 20s minutes. I think he's an interesting value. And then Grayson at 4'9". I think I'd rather just pay down for Eric Gordon. So that's going to wrap it up for the Suns. Let's move on to the Warriors. So I think I always have interest in Steph just because the ceiling is absolutely incredible with him. But like I said, I think I'd rank like Book, KD above him at their respective price points. So I think I always like Steph for tournaments because he's always low owned and he always has one of the highest ceilings on the slate. So for that, I am going to say I do like Steph for tournaments. Clay, I'm always just indifferent on. He always has a ceiling, but the floor is very, very low with him. 6'5". I think he's more one of the appropriately priced players on this slate. And then I absolutely love Chris Paul. I don't understand this price point on Chris Paul. Whether he starts, whether he comes off the bench, I don't care. If he's starting, we can expect probably over 30 minutes for him. If he's coming off the bench, high 20s. It doesn't really matter to me. 5.6K for Chris Paul is just absurd. I absolutely love Chris Paul at 5'6". I think Andrew Wiggins is a pretty good play at 5'5". That seems too cheap to me. Guy that can do a little bit of everything, good defender, get those defensive stats as well. I like Wiggins quite a bit. I think Looney's a solid play. I think he'll have to be out there a decent amount. With Nurkic on the other side of this, no Draymond. So I think Looney's minutes are pretty safe in this spot. I think he's a really safe play, so I do like me some Looney. And then we'll talk about Kuminga. I think Kuminga's going to have a bigger role this year. No Draymond, so I'm expecting pretty good minutes for him. I think Kuminga is a pretty good value as well. I do like some Kuminga. And then as far as the other guys on the bench, you'll probably see some GP2. Like I said, you'll see some Kuminga, maybe see some Saric, some Moody. Pods was really good in the preseason, but can't really play him. Anyone outside of Kuminga that I think would be in play for me would probably be GP2, but once again, I don't think it's necessary to go there. I think, going to guys like Kuminga, Akoji, Prince, even Eric Gordon makes some sense over going to GP2. So I think that's going to wrap it up for the quick breakdown, guys. I hope you guys all had a good off season, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.